I'm here with a very special guest, Rory Patterson, who is the chairman of Databricks Federal. Rory, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you guys announced a partnership today with Palantir, which I think a lot of people in the Palantir community have been waiting for. There's been rumors that you guys will be working together.
Palantir and Databricks just joined forces. This changes everything. Check this out.
Why did you guys decide to partner with Palantir today?
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for our customers. And quite honestly, customers have been asking about this for quite a while, right? I actually think when we first started down this path of having this discussion, we found that customers were already trying to integrate the two platforms. And this was a great opportunity to give them what they want. And I think it's a match made in heaven, right? I think you take the world's best data platform and you put on top of it the company who builds the best outcomes and is closest to the business. And those two things just bring customers more value.
So let's take it back a little bit for some people that don't know exactly what Databricks is. I know Databricks, Palantir, high-tech company is kind of hard to explain. Most people understand Palantir as a ontological operating system that drives decision-making for the business. What would you say Databricks is?
Yeah, Databricks has what we refer to as the data intelligence platform. And that's, end-to-end services that ingest, transform, store, govern your data. What's really unique about Databricks is that we do all this in an open fashion, right? So, Delta Lake, which is an open storage format based on Parquet, it's your data. Customers get to keep it. They own it. They can walk away from Databricks at any time, and anyone else can look at the data. Then we have an integrated governance platform, which we call Unity Catalog.
Right.
It's like the first of its kind. It's been in the market for several years. And then on top of that, you put your apps. So a data warehouse, machine learning models, notebooks, Gen AI.
Right.
But it's all contained within one platform.
So you guys think of yourselves as kind of like an integrated ecosystem for customers to actually build more applications on that, like drive actual workflows for the business that makes sense.
That's right. Yeah.
And how is that consistent with Palantir's ontology, which is kind of the heart of this partnership?
Yeah, I think that customers want to be able to use that ontology, and by putting more of the data into one spot, right? Like we believe that if Palantir and Databricks are sitting side by side, there's actually less value that Palantir can bring to the customer and less value that Databricks can bring to the
100%.
customer.
Yeah.
Put all the data in one location and allow Palantir to read it, apply the ontology upon reading from Databricks, and they get all the value that they had before, plus access to all the rest of the data.
Palantir and Databricks together create a force multiplier for businesses. Instead of treating data storage and decision-making as separate problems, this partnership ensures they work as one. Companies now get both structured governance and real-time analytics in a unified system, reducing complexity and increasing impact. The end result? Faster, smarter, and more scalable decision-making across industries.
What is going on right now with data? Why is there this massive data revolution? You guys are growing crazy fast as a company. Palantir is growing fast as a public company. Why is there this insatiable demand for data intelligence?
Yeah, well, I think, one, data volumes have been growing for years, and customers realize the immediate value of their information. But then on top of that, there's all this context and all this, unstructured data that's surrounding it. So they're trying to get value out of that as well, not just the initial like, hey, you feed me something, I understand what that is. And, it's like super simple. It's like algebra. I think there's a lot more context that's around their data. And the more they can get access to it first, depend on it, it has integrity, then the more second, third, fourth level of insights that they can gather from it.
And I assume insights are kind of what's driving the necessity for companies to even realize that they need a data platform in the first place.
Yeah, it's really hard if your executive staff, business operations is spending all their time answering the first question, as opposed to like, hey, I want to know what the, performance was of this machine, or I want to know what the performance was of my business unit. And it takes you X amount of time to get to that.
Right.
You don't have the time to then dig in and say, well, why wasn't it more performant?
Yeah.
Why can't I improve? If it takes you forever to get to the first insight, you don't even have time in your business to get to the second or the third. And what we're finding is as data volumes increase, it's not just that you're not asking the right questions. It's that the data volumes, you need a platform that can keep up with actually returning the results.
Right.
You're not timing out. You're not, hey, I can't run that search because it's so complicated. I can't even get to the recommendation. And that's for simple things like BI, when you get to like machine learning models and more advanced things, some of those searches just time out and you actually never get to the algorithm you want.
The explosion in data isn't just about volume, it's about speed and complexity. Companies don't just need access to their information, they need real-time insights that drive decision-making. Palantir and Databricks are solving this by making it possible to answer first-order questions instantly, freeing up organizations to focus on deeper strategic decisions. This shift is turning data from a liability into the ultimate competitive advantage.
AI agents, everyone's talking about them. It's creating a revolution. Do you guys see that as a tailwind right now for Databricks as a company?
For sure. I mean, I think that there's a massive amount of opportunity there. And I think we have a unique platform because we already have so much of the enterprise data. We're not going after the consumer use case,
right.
Ask Claude, ask ChatGPT. That's not trained on enterprise data. Correct. Databricks has access to an enterprise's entire, cornucopia of data. Therefore, when we ask questions of that data, we have AI models that are actually looking inside of our products and contextualizing the information that's inside of it. So it's not just a question about like, hey, what was the revenue for X company? And you're searching the internet for it. You're like, no, what's the revenue of my company?
Right.
What's the information? What's the answer to this question on my data specifically? We already have all that information, so it gives us a big competitive advantage.
You guys have a big government business. Palantir has obviously been working in the government for a long time. You're the head of federal at Databricks. What are the synergies like for Palantir and Databricks in the government?
Yeah, there's a ton. I would say that most people think that this partnership was founded because of the public sector synergies, although there's a lot of commercial overlap as well. The opportunity here for both companies is to eliminate the perception of competition, right? The government customers for sure are looking at and saying like, do I have to choose Palantir or Databricks? And I think the answer is we should be able to walk into those customers and say, no, you should have the best of both. You feel free to have both of us.
The real AI revolution isn't in consumer chatbots, it's in enterprise AI. Databricks has a massive edge by working directly with enterprise data, making AI models far more valuable for companies that need real-time contextual insights. When combined with Palantir's ability to structure and operationalize data, this partnership creates a serious competitive advantage, particularly in high-stakes environments like defense and government operations.
Well, why do you think the media has kind of put you guys against each other over the past couple of years?
I mean, I think it's great to have competition. Right. So I think it also tells a story in that way. But I also think that people don't understand the technologies, right? So it was pretty interesting. A couple months ago, Shyam and I were like just emailing back and forth about like, hey, what do you think about this? And like that night he hacked together hey, here's an integration. And it was like 60% of it, right?
Typical
overnight.
Shyam.
Yeah, it's like 60% of it overnight was like, well, I think we can just do this. And it had already been reading from our Unity catalog. And it was pretty impressive that like that quickly. And then as we walked into more customers, there was actually a DoD customer that forced the integration on the two of us that we were both in the account. They're like, no, we're only going to do the demo. We're only going to do it this way. And it worked. Wow. It was fast. And so that really showed us that, okay, customers not only are wanting this, but in some ways they're going to kind of force it either way. Yeah, so why not give them the best solution, the best integration right out of the box?
Interesting. So that email exchange with Shyam kind of led to him hacking something to potentially show a operational workflow. And then the DoD kind of forced the integration to happen. And then you guys decided it just makes sense to work together.
Yeah, it was that easy. And we've gone to, a handful of customers where we were both having discussions and the customer would, at least on our side, I'm not sure what's happening on the Palantir side. The customer would be like, hey, just so you know, I'm getting, I'm having a lot of discussions with Palantir over here.
Right.
And it was just easier to go into that customer and say, oh, actually, here's the pitch from both of us.
Right.
And all the friction was removed.
Right.
And they realized, oh, we could coexist. And in some of these cases, we both had some portion of the data estate. And now that customer actually gets to put it together and, get more value out of it.
Why does the media always try to create rivalry where collaboration makes more sense? The reality is that competition can push innovation, but the real winners are customers who force integrations like this. If the Department of Defense, one of the most data-critical institutions in the world, demanded Databricks and Palantir work together, That tells you everything. The future isn't about siloed platforms, it's about seamless interoperability. Why fight over the pie when you can bake a bigger one?
LLMs and the revolution of LLMs, I'm assuming Palantir's have the stance that the large language models will be commoditized. The integration of them is what matters. I would imagine you feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably already out there. I think that the LLMs there's going to be a ton of value that those companies can still create around the LLMs, and we'll see what that looks like. I think, Anthropic, OpenAI, they're just not going to make LLMs. They're going to expand off from there. But I think the general purpose that we're looking at them today has been commoditized. I think you can build a $10 million LLM that's pretty good, or you can use Llama or something like that. And why would you pay more for something you don't have to?
Right.
And Databricks is unique because we can kind of look at those models and run them against the same analytic simultaneously.
Right.
And then say, well, at this cost, this performance, the quality of this answer, and compare them all.
Right.
And then allow a customer to decide, okay, I want to use this one or I want to use that one for this unique workload. I think that will help also drive down prices, which,
is good for everybody.
That's right.
Yeah. Rory, thank you for taking the time to do this. Last question for you. 10 years from now, where do you see the data AI revolution kind of taking place in the context of Databricks?
Oh, that's a great question.
We're going to have robots and Terminators getting ready
it's interesting. I'm an optimist. So I think that in the future, there will be robots. And I think, the Gen AI revolution will actually accelerate the leverage of robots, autonomous everything, because they're going to be able to somewhat educate themselves about the next step.
Right.
But yeah, I think the best outcome for everyone is finding the really smart things that we can apply this to. Healthcare.
Yes.
Let's find cures for things faster.
Yeah.
Robots. Let's manufacture things in a safe way for humans. There's a lot of things that we do that are super dangerous. Let's build some robots that do those things. Let's, travel further, go faster. Those things are all in our future. And I think data is a big part of that. Hopefully Databricks will be underpinning most of that in the future.
I love it. Rory, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. Databricks and Palantir now working together.
If LLMs are becoming commoditized, then what truly sets a company apart in AI? It's not just about having a model. It's about how you use it. Databricks' ability to compare different models in real time, optimizing for cost, performance, and accuracy, is a game changer. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Palantir's ontology can take that AI output and turn it into something actionable. It's not enough to just generate insights. You need to operationalize them, apply them, and turn them into real-world advantages. That's why this partnership is so significant. It's the perfect combination of AI infrastructure and decision-making intelligence. With this, companies don't just get AI, they get AI that actually delivers value where it matters most.